Hello everyone, my name is Draconicrose and welcome back to another episode of While True Do Learn. So last episode we were continuing to go through our task tree and now we are at the border control access system. You might notice now that they have done a few interface changes and we can now just click the little ladder button to go into the task. Something else they've reworked is that if you have a startup that has no income, you will just get a zero thing instead of getting a bill, I think. Something of the sort. I still don't understand from this update how and I'll check here, how the custom blocks like here are supposed to work. Maybe we have to save and then we can drag. I don't exactly know. But for this one, we are going to try and start doing something for our first startup, Tatari. Alright, so what do we have here? Well, we have a decision tree for color, which in-game does not compare socket colors with the element's color, and chooses the socket with the minimum amount of errors. So socket element compares, chooses the one that it matches better. Meanwhile, the expert system, this node compares colors. If the color of the element is equal to the chosen color, the element comes into the top socket, others go into the bottom socket. I think a decision tree might not be the best thing to use there. Perhaps someone else might prove me wrong. But I think what we should do is grab the reds immediately, and then if it's not red, then we want the blues, and if it's not blue, we want to trash everything. Do we have any custom nodes that might help with that? Without blue, only red. I do have the RGB sort, which you can also use, and actually, let's use that. So let's use our RGB sort, because it's the same thing. So red, right? Blue, and finally greens that get entirely trashed. So test run. Sorry about the cut there, people, we're being loud. So we can see now that the test run isn't stopping on its own, and the overload system has been reworked slightly. So some more elements per line. Much faster too. So 2 out of 3. I'm not entirely sure what this means. I guess it's the items in queue, perhaps? Well, but since this isn't stopping, we will stop it ourselves and release. This action deploys the code to the servers, and from this moment the startup will work automatically. Good. So we will have to check current overload, a little bit overloaded. But we will see how our income progresses. We have done the border control system, and we have a whole bunch of money to use. Random forest, a more complex structure than the decision tree, but it can recognize more classes. Not entirely sure that is relevant to us. So 1 megabyte of RAM? Yeah, I think we shall get that. And we still have a lot, so we are going to get the Rentium. The Cerberus 2000 is a bit outside of our budget, but we can get the Tambourine, which, well, dark magic apparently. Now we'll save up and we'll try to keep around 10k in our account, just to Just to keep things a little bit padded. Get a Cheshire cat. Not entirely sure how we're supposed to get that cat. And apologies if this has more cuts than usual. I have been working at the call center and my voice does not like it. At any rate, we shall continue. Actually, does the calendar do anything? Oh, no. Okay, so we can't see the calendar, we can only continue on. Elite Conference. Good day! There are several audiences where you can meet with the scientists at our conference. We would like to separate VIP visitors from ordinary people, but unfortunately the VIP zone is very small. Some of the VIP guests will have to be sent to the ordinary rooms. We have a terminal using which you can find the way to your room. We would truly appreciate a small update. So we will accept that job and check what we have to do. Well, we can tell right away that we need to get the greens separated, as those are most likely the VIP guests. But we can't send all of them to the VIP place. So one thing that we can immediately do is get an RGB sort. I'm not entirely sure if it will be enough to handle all of the input, but that is okay. And then grab ourselves a 4 parallel, exactly, and a 2 parallel. Why? Because reds and blues need to be divided in two, in which the balls go up and the squares and triangles go down. While greens need to actually only be divided in 3. However, one of those 3 will have to be further divided to go up, essentially. So let's see if my theory is correct, and I do know I've done this exercise before, but as you can imagine, I do not memorize them. Okay, so we can now send two outputs to the same input, as expected. So all reds and blues will be going here. Now, what we need is a sift. Actually, 2 sifts, because we will have to deal with both reds and blues coming through here, and this will help balance the load. So balls of any go there, else it goes there. Same thing here, just exactly the same. This is merely a load balancing situation. Now we have the greens. For the greens, we will also use sift so that we can get the balls of 2 of them to go up and the rest to go down. And then we will just send all of this way. Technically, if I'm going to do things this way, then I only need a 2 parallel, right? Which will be cheaper. This is green, right? That was blue. Which will be cheaper and do the same thing. Alright, let's test run it. So far, so good. VIP area here is full, and all the other ones are also full with accuracy and occupancy, so we can just release. And I really wish, can we stop? Right, does it count? No. So we do have to release and let it run. Not something I am happy about. I really wish there was a way to skip this part. This shift here is getting overwhelmed. Well, almost overwhelmed. Good enough for the task, I would say. And now we have enough money in our account to get something else from eBay. Decrease the server cost by 3% or socket processing queue. Perhaps node speed is also nice. But if we want to make money, it's better to decrease the server cost, so we will buy that. And how's our Tatari? Well, we're making 46 cat euro per week. We have 119 current users, and our current overload is getting a little high, but it's at 0%, so we can very well continue on with our tasks. Now we want to predict president elections, so good morning! I need to know who to vote for. Can you predict the winner of the next presidential elections? I will send you a big database. Well, that one seems simple, however, big database, 300. So we definitely need that. What was this not all about? Oh yeah, only red. It very fast showing us the red ones. Well, we do not want only reds. After all, we actually do not want reds at all. We want blues. So blue and green, copy paste, blue and reds, copy paste, blue and green, paste again, blue and red. And that should easily handle the task. I don't want that one go there for aesthetic reasons. So blue goes there, green there, blue there again, red there, and so on and so forth. There we go. Time to test run it. It's a little expensive, but that is okay. All the blues are going in. Well, there's a few greens making their way through, but as long as our accuracy is above 80%, we should be more than fine. However, those decision trees, they're very much overwhelmed. Yeah, which means we failed this task. Well, let me try something else and I'll come back to you. Alright, I am back and I have found the solution, and wow, this one was a doozy. Anyway, the problem here is that you only have 27 seconds to sort to 386 entries, so that is a little unyieldy. So what does this do? Well, you only need an accuracy of 80, you don't need an 100 accuracy, so not all 300 squares have to go in, right? And there's so few reds that they might as well not even exist. So what does the solution do? Now basically the input, I'll actually let it run. So the input goes into this load balancer and half of it, blues and greens, just goes into the output. Then it goes into another load balancer where half of what gets here, just blues and greens, and perhaps the occasional red, goes into the output. and the rest. That does get sorted to weed out enough greens and perhaps reds to get us to the 80% accuracy. And that means we made a good bit of money. Alright, our weekly income here is still in the positive, so we will leave it that way and check eBay again. Now we have the random forest node, but we really should be getting hardware. So at 11,587, I really want a bigger node processing queue, and oh, I definitely want the graphics card. Well, it will get us a little bit under the 10,000, but I don't think that's a problem, so let's get that. We have updated our hardware. Also, let us check our emails. We might have, like, little email from parents. There we go. Hello dear, remember what you said? But your birthday is coming soon, so take this money and buy yourself something tasty. We love you very much, and we miss you. Please don't forget to put the hat on, it's very cold outside, and we get a good bit of money that will come in handy. We also have a mail from a friend who is paying us back a loan. Pretty good, so we will take the money. And well, we have more than enough to get even more stuff. In this case, I think that router looks mighty fine, and so does that GVIDIA 720. But that Rentium though, it increases both the node's work speed and the data transfer speed. Now we'll take the work speed of the GVIDIA. But that will be it for today's episode. Let me know what you thought of it, if you enjoyed it, if you found another solution to the predict president elections problem, and also tell me what you would like to see next. Until then, bye! Thank you so much to my patrons for making this channel possible. Click the Patreon logo to become one of these fine folk, and if you enjoyed the video, here are some more YouTube things you would like. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.